Hi, I'm Wendy from Shiny Happy World, and this is the newest bear pattern in my shop. I already have a number of bear patterns, but I love bears, and I really wanted to do this little startled bear with a fly landing on her nose. So we have another bear pattern at Shiny Happy World. Here's how to make it. Okay, this is the video showing how to assemble this cute bear with a fly on her nose applique pattern if you are not using a light box. So I've got all of my pieces prepared. This one has a few extra pieces, mostly because of the fly. It's still a really easy pattern for you to assemble. So before I get into the assembly of it, let's talk about preparing your pieces. So I print, you can also trace, all the templates onto the paper side of paper-backed fusible adhesive. I use Heat and Bond Light for all of my quilts. And then you are going to cut those pieces out roughly and fuse them to the wrong side of your fabric. And then after you've fused, do a nice clean cut on those solid lines. The dotted lines are all placement guides showing you where other applique pieces are going to sit on top of this piece, except for a couple. The solid lines that are inside the pieces are stitching lines. So those you'll want to transfer. Everything else I transfer in chalk, and if chalk doesn't show up, I'll use a pencil. But the stitching lines, I will use just a fine tip black Sharpie. Nothing fancy, it's a permanent pen, but you're going to stitch over those lines with black thread, and so it doesn't matter, you'll never see that line again. So on this pattern, that is the eyelashes and also the little line between his nose and his mouth. So get all of those pieces, those lines transferred before you remove the paper backing, and then we're ready to go. So we are going to start with the shoulder piece, because I design most of my patterns what I call snapshot style. So I want it to look like I have snapped a photo of this bear and I've just zoomed in on his face, so that's what your focus is on. So he has a body, it's just cropped out of the photo. And to get that look, I want to line the raw edge, this straight edge at the bottom of the shoulders, with the raw edge at the bottom of the block. And this doesn't look like I've got it lined up with the raw edge. That's because my batting doesn't go all the way to the bottom. And so I'm lining it up actually with the batting that is kind of hidden behind this piece of fabric. So you just want it lined up at the bottom so that when you sew all of your blocks together, that bottom edge is going to be stitched into the seam between the blocks, and that will give you that illusion of a cropped photo. If you would rather float your face in there, what I call emoji style, just don't use the shoulder piece and just float the head in the middle. That also looks super cute. So the next piece that we're going to put in there is the face. So we peel that paper back off. And then you can see here that I had transferred that line at the top of the shoulders. I am going to put the face piece over that. And as soon as I've got that line covered, I know I have a good amount of overlap there. So let's go ahead and tuck his ears behind. So we're going to peel off the paper backing and just tuck one ear behind each side. And it doesn't really matter exactly where they go. You could put them up a little bit higher or a little bit lower than I have. If you want to, you can refer to the placement guide or the cover on the pattern to see exactly what I did, but it's not crucial. There's not one golden place to put it. Now, let's put the muzzle in. And that is going to go right where it sits, right where we drew those lines. Easy peasy. Now, this guy is a little bit different than a lot of my patterns because I gave him or her white eyes. Usually I just do a solid black eye, but on this one, I really wanted to have pupils because I wanted to show her looking at the fly that's sitting on her nose. You could do this with any of my patterns. Just replace the black eyes with white eyes, and then you'll need to add some pupils. And that just means getting some smaller ovals, just very, very simple ovals to use as the pupils. No big deal, but let's just show you what that looks like. There's one. I may have to add a blog post showing people how to do that with a pattern that already exists without that option. But that lets you make them look in any direction you want. All right, let's get her nose in place. So there's that. And when you do that, you want to make sure that the point at the bottom of the nose, you really want to get that lined up very, very precisely with that downstroke. Usually I'm not too fussy about where things go, exactly how things get positioned, but that's one that if that's shifted to the side, it's going to look a little weird. So now we have 2 fly wings, and I'm going to just tuck them into place where they are marked. They are different, but it doesn't, you can put them in different spots. It doesn't matter if you flip them. And then we've got a little fly body that is going to overlap the tip of the wings. There we go. And this one has got, usually I do smiles, but this one I gave a surprised little, oh, kind of mouth. Let's do that. Like that. All right, there we go. So I'm going to take this over to my ironing board, fuse all the pieces in place, then I'll take it to my sewing machine and do all of the outline stitching, and then I'll bring it back here and show you the finished bear, and then show you 2 other versions that I made with different color combinations. All right, here is one finished bear. This is one that I did add the eyelashes to. Remember, the eyelashes are always optional. I did another version without the eyelashes. So she's in bright, totally not realistic colors. This version is kind of classic black bear colors. And then I did one more version. So I'm working on a quilt that collects all of my bug patterns together, and they're all going to be in bright jewel tone gemstone colors on gray backgrounds, and I really wanted to make those bugs pop in their bright gem colors. So I tried that here with the bear being black and white also, and then just the bright red fly. I'm not sure if I'm going to end up using it in that quilt or not, but I think it's a lot of fun to play with this way, and I may do some more quilts that have a black and white background and then something added to them in that bright gemstone color. But for now, here is the newest bear pattern at Shiny Happy World. You can get it in the shop. I'm Wendy, and I will see you next time.